Well, the Falcons were able to stop Russell Wilson just barely. How are they going to do with Colin Kaepernick? Here to talk with me about the NFC Championship game, our NFL writer Cliff Brown. My name is Tom Vandervoort. And Cliff, the key for the San Francisco 49ers going into Atlanta, if they're going to continue to roll the way they did over the Green Bay Packers, what would you say it is?
Well, in this game, I think Colin Kaepernick is again going to be the X factor. I mean, watching him run through the Packers defense like a gazelle had to be eye-opening to the Falcons when they watch him on film this week. I mean, Kaepernick is a game breaker. He showed the qualities that made Jim Harbaugh go with him as a quarterback, even though Alex Smith was playing well. And now that Kaepernick has gotten them to the NFC Championship game, the next step for the 49ers, they hope, is to go to the Super Bowl. And if the Falcons are going to beat the 49ers, they're going to have to figure out a way to contain Kaepernick, particularly when he runs, better than the Packers did. The Falcons got a dose of it against Russell Wilson, and he hurt them in the second half. They're going to see more of the same this Sunday from Kaepernick.
No doubt. And what do they need to do defensively to stop him? I know their John Abraham is a question mark, I think, for Sunday. What's the key on defense to actually getting him contained? Because like you said, they looked like they were having a lot of troubles with Wilson in the second half. Well,
first, defensively, you've got to make sure that you're disciplined in that you don't take wrong angles against this guy. He's faster than you are. So if you take a normal angle against Kaepernick as a defensive player, usually he'll end up running by you. So the Falcons are going to have to be very aware that, hey, when this guy starts to run, try and force him to the sidelines, try and force him back into help. Don't get in a situation where he can simply outrun you. And also offensively for the Falcons, obviously, the more points you score, the better. Even though they almost lost that game against the Seahawks, the Falcons, I thought, were at times really spectacular offensively during portions of that game. Matt Ryan was hot. The receivers were rolling. Tony Gonzalez had a big game. Julio Jones, Roddy White. If the Falcons are clicking like that offensively, it'll take a lot of pressure off their defense.
Now, Atlanta did win that game. I have to ask you, just the way the second half went, was this a game enough to show you that this is a resilient, mentally tough team, or do you still have question marks about their ability to go ahead and win these big games in the playoffs?
I still have question marks about the Falcons, but I don't think they have as many questions about themselves. They needed that win really more than words can say. And now that they've gotten it, even though it was shaky and down the stretch, even though they lost the lead and had to get a last-second field goal, the burden of never winning a playoff game now is finally gone from the Falcons. They're at home. That's going to help. I feel they can look forward now. They know the 49ers are a tremendous team, but at this point there are no more easy games. And I do believe the Falcons will play with a lot of confidence. Offensively, they played with confidence throughout the game. Defensively, I thought they had a little problem trying to close the game, and that's going to be a key for the Falcons. You know, you can play well for 3.5 quarters, but against these good teams that never give in, you have to close. The 49ers can close games. We're going to see if the Falcons can, too, on Sunday.
Absolutely. All right, let's get down to it. Before I let you go, who you got in this game, Cliff?
I like the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl. I've thought for a long time that they may be the best team in the NFC. Certainly their defense, I think, overall is the best. I agree with Harbaugh's decision as far as going with Kaepernick. He just makes more game-breaking plays. He helps their receivers a lot. He helps the running game. And I think that the 49ers, having been in this spot before last year and coming up short, it will help them in this game. I just think that they've been on a mission from day one of training camp to get to the Super Bowl, and I don't see them being denied.
All right, there you go. That's Cliff Brown. I'm Tom Vandervoort. Cliff, thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me, Tom.